Hello, I'm sitting here today with Tracy Ryan Kidd, the Director of Virginia Family Counseling in Vienna, Virginia. Tracy treats individuals and couples, and she often utilizes a type of treatment called EMDR. We all use EMDR there at Virginia Family Counseling, and Tracy's going to tell us what EMDR is today. Tracy?
Yes, so EMDR stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and it describes an approach that we all use that here at Virginia Family Counseling that is used to help people with distressing memories or distressing life events that have happened in the past, whether it's the recent past or the long ago past, that may still be causing difficulties today, such as depression or anxiety, stress, low self-esteem. It was originally developed about 21 years ago, and it was found that setting up the protocol and using a form of bilateral stimulation, such as moving your eyes back and forth while thinking about the memory and the thoughts that go along with the memory, and the sensations and emotions, or listening to alternating tones through a set of headphones, that what would happen is that the disturbing thoughts would begin to move their way through and would no longer be disturbing and cause the problem for the individual. So that it is used in this way with post-traumatic stress disorder, for example, soldiers coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan. It's also used for people who have some type of a traumatic event, such as a car accident, or some type of an assault, that kind of thing. And what we think happens is that when something very disturbing like that occurs in your life, there are so many chemicals released, like adrenaline and cortisol, released through the body so that you can survive that event. And that because of those chemicals that are released at the time, we think that the memory sort of gets stuck in the brain in its original form, so that when you recall that disturbing event that occurred, you feel exactly like you're still there, feeling the fear in the pit of your stomach and having all of the different reactions and body sensations, beliefs like I'm going to die, that you had at the time of the incident. And what EMDR seems to do is kickstart what we think is the brain's natural information processing system to process through the memory so that it no longer has the same charge that it had before. We also believe that this is what's occurring in rapid eye movement sleep at night. Whenever we dream, we're using rapid eye movement sleep. And we believe that this is how the brain processes the day's natural events, so that when you wake up in the morning, you're not necessarily thinking about all the things that happened the day before. So what we're doing is using what the brain naturally does when something is not too traumatic to be able to process it through, store it in normal memory, and not feel a tremendous amount of distress about it. What we found now, though, is that we use EMDR on a whole host of life events that wouldn't necessarily be considered traumatic, but because they either happened early on or because they were disturbing to the individual, we can use EMDR in order to work through some of the problems that they're having today that might go back to earlier events. For example, someone will come in and say, you know, I find that it's very difficult for me to assert myself with authority figures. I seem to really kind of freeze whenever I have to go to my boss and ask for something. And we can use EMDR on this type of an incident and allow us to kind of enter into the memory network to see what earlier events may have contributed to some of that freeze reaction with authority figures. And so what you'll often find is that it will go back to some early life event, like a humiliating event with the teacher or some other authority figure, and that memory got sort of stuck in its original format, so that now when the person goes to assert themselves with some authority figure, they feel exactly the same way as they did back then. And so EMDR is used now with a whole range of various performance issues, if you're wanting to improve your performance in your career or with your relationship, and or that you have normal everyday stresses, anxieties, depression, low self-esteem. So it's a very powerful and effective and efficient approach. And if you want to find out more, go to our website at virginiafamilycounseling.com, and there will be plenty of different resources for you to check out there. We hope you do. Thanks.
Thanks, Tracy.